Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Brethren, I want you to remain and stay awake and give me your full attention so that you understand what we are talking about in the first instance, and so that you will know how you are going to pray. Because I believe the Lord that today's prayer is going to be a game changer. Today's prayer is going to turn so many things around. So many forces, powers, enemies that you have been struggling against for so long that on your own you have no power or might to stand them, to deal with them. You have thrown everything into the battle. You've thrown all the weapons in your possession into the battle. And it's like the enemies are still keeping alive. They are still surviving. They are still moving on. Today, the Lord is going to come in. And the Lord is going to use just one singular weapon. And that weapon is the weapon of fear and terror. And that's what I'm talking to you about today. God's weapons of fear and terror. The way our God fights, He's a man of war. He's a warrior. Not just ordinary warrior. He's a specialist warrior. He knows the battle inside out. If you see where the Lord is drawing out battle strategies, how He will tell Moses, if you go to this battle, this is how you should fight, this is how you should do it, you know that He's a real warrior. And all the battle He has ever fought, He has never lost any battle. So, today is going to deploy His weapons of fear and terror. You know what fear is? Fear is when you become so deeply afraid and terrified. And terror is something that terrifies somebody. And these are weapons in the hand of God. They are weapons in the hands of God. Look at Exodus chapter 15. Exodus 15, look at verse 2. He said, "The Lord is my strength and my song." The Lord is my strength. Why? Because He's a powerful God. He's a strong God. He's a mighty God. He says, my strength. And He is become my salvation, which means He saves me. He delivers me. He saves me. He's salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare Him an habitation, my Father's God, and I will exalt Him. Look at verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is His name. A man of war. And He has different kinds of weapons that He uses in His battles. Depending on the nature of the battle, He knows the right weapon to deploy. Do you know sometimes the Lord will fight with thunder, sometimes we fight with even stones, He will fight with different things. But sometimes He will deploy some weapon. Look at what He said concerning His weapon in Job 38. Job 38. Look at verse 22. Job 38 verse 22. He says, "Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow?" This snow that falls in some regions of the world. He said, have you ever seen the treasure, that is the storehouse of snow, where they fall from? He said, have I shown it to you before? He said, the treasures of snow. Or hast thou seen the treasures of the hail? Or hail, have you seen the treasure, where the storage, where it stores them? Verse 23. He said, which I have reserved. He said, I kept them, I created them, I provided them, I kept them, I stored them against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war. So, brethren, there could be some battles that the only weapon God will use is the weapon of snow and hail. Just snow will fall. That's all. And with that snow, he will frustrate everything. If you read different battles, if you read battle histories, like during the Second World War, Hitler has captured Poland. He was already advancing upon Russia and the Soviet Union then. And the only thing that stopped him from taking Soviet Union was snow. Snow just fell that year the way it has never fallen before. And all his soldiers, many of them died in the snow in that road. All their vehicles could not move. The vehicles were grounded, all the tanks were grounded, they couldn't move because of snow. And many of them died of cold. So that's what the Lord is saying. He said, so depending on the war, depending on the battle, he has different weapons. Different weapons. Do you know? Sometimes he even uses insects. He told the children of Israel, he said, I will send hornets. And they will drive the people away. Can you imagine? That hornets will just come from nowhere and just drive the whole community, the whole country away from their nation. Drive them away. So he has weapons. I remember sometime the father was telling me, he said, do you know you can pick anything and it will become weapon in your hand? He said, do you know that if you take water and speak to the water and throw the water, it will become weapon? Do you know, he said, if you pick sand from the ground and speak to that sound and use it, it will turn to weapon in your hand. So the Lord has different weapons. He can use wind. He can use rain. He can use anything as weapons. So depending on the nature of the battle, the Lord chooses the right weapon to use in that war. You remember the time of Samuel? The Bible says he threw stones from heaven. He threw stones. In Egypt, he used hailstones. Sometimes he will use fire. Sometimes he used sword. He will use his angels. He has used thunder before. He uses different weapons for different battles. He has innumerable arrays of weapons that are at his disposal. Sometimes, brethren, do you know he uses even rumor? And do you know that rumor is a weapon? Rumor. That's the one they call fake news today. That's the one they call fake news. You remember what the Lord Jesus Christ said? He said that in the end time, in Matthew 24, he said, at the end time, they said something. He said there will be war and rumors of war. Anything that goes into rumor has turned to fake news. And that is what we call propaganda. And those are the things. So rumor itself is a weapon. So depending on the nature of the battle, the Lord knows how to use and what weapon to use. Genesis chapter 9. But today, our focus is the weapon of fear and terror. Fear and terror. I want to show you how the Lord uses this weapon. The weapon of fear, weapon of terror. When he deploys this weapon, one thing happens. Enemies that are after you, enemies that have been coming to fight you, they will run away. They will become afraid and they will run for their lives. That's the mystery of this weapon. The weapon of fear and terror. They will be so terrified, they will not even see what is terrifying them. Sometimes it is what they will just hear rumor from nowhere and they will start running. And it doesn't really matter, brethren. Even if they run away from you and leave you alone, is that not settled? Are you not free from them? Will they not leave you alone? So the major thing is that the enemy will stop troubling you. Look at Genesis chapter 9. Look at verse 1. This was immediately after the flood of Noah. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. The same blessing he pronounced upon Adam and Eve at the beginning. Now it's like he started all over, everything all over again. So he blessed them to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill the earth again. Verse 2. Look at what he now said. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth. He put their fear upon the animals. Remember, there were only 8 people on the whole earth. So if he did not put this kind of fear upon the animals will eat them up. The animals will eat them. Lions, tiger, and all those kind of wild beasts, they will just kill the 8 of them. So what God did to preserve them was put their fear upon all the animals. Do you know, brethren, you can pray these prayers. All the animals that have been harassing you, snake harassing you in the dream, dogs harassing you in the dream, cats harassing you in the dream, all kinds of cow and all kinds of beasts and all kinds of creatures and birds harassing you, all those. Do you know, you can pray and say, Lord, put my fear in their hearts. Terrorize the animals. Put fear upon them. All the animals will run away from you. Fear. The weapon of fear will drive them away from you. They will not even come closer to your dreams anymore. They will not come closer to your house anymore. So that's what the Lord did. He said that your dread, your fear shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Do you see? Where the Lord deploys the weapon of fear and terror, he delivers your enemy into your hand. They will become afraid of you. They will become afraid of you. They will be so terrified. They can't stand your face. They can't stand your presence. And so, brethren, any human being that have been turning to animals to attack you, turning to birds to fly against you, turning to all kinds of things against you, if you pray these prayers and fear enter them, they will not be able to come closer to you again. They will not be able to fly around your home anymore. So you see what God did here. But one thing that I discover here, brethren, is this. When God created Adam and Eve, he did not pronounce this upon them. He did not tell them that I put your fear upon the animals and all those things. Why? Because man was in a different state. Man has not fallen. Man has not tasted sin yet. Man was in a higher class and a higher realm, where all those things naturally were obedient to man, naturally submissive to man. But because of sin, because of the fall, all those animals and all the other creatures became the enemy of man. They became the enemy, and they became a threat and a danger to man. So God gave this one weapon of fear to Noah to keep all the animals away from them, and all the fishes in the water, everything in the water, everything that fly in the air. He just put fear, he programmed fear into all of them. Programmed fear into all of them. And all of them became afraid of Noah and his family. And they didn't trouble Noah, they didn't disturb Noah until they grew and multiply and replenish the earth again. So you can see how the weapon of fear operates. Deuteronomy chapter 2. Deuteronomy chapter 2. Look at verse 16. Deuteronomy 2 verse 16. So it came to pass, when all the men of war were consumed and dead from among the people. This was talking about the children of Israel. The children of Israel. They were coming from Egypt. There were a lot of things they started to do in the wilderness. Rebellion, murmuring, and all kinds of things, disobedience, and so on. So many times God was not happy with them. And because of that, sometimes the Lord will tell them, go, they will not go. He will tell them, don't, we go. And so the Bible now says it got to a time, all the men of war, the great warriors in the whole country, they all perished. So no more warriors. No more people to fight their battles. Is that not dangerous, brethren? Is that not dangerous? Is that not dangerous that you can get to that stage? Meanwhile, they've not even reached the promised land they are going. Meanwhile, they have bad enemies on their road till they get to the promised land. They have 7 nations occupying the land they want to go and take. Now, the whole warriors, they are all gone, perished. You know, brethren, sometimes you find yourself in a situation whereby you have no person praying for you. You have no person interceding for you. You have nobody to support you in prayer. If you can pray this very prayer and say, Lord, put my fear upon every person around me round about. Do you know that no enemy will trouble you? Whether people are praying for you or not, whether people are protecting you or not, because your terror, your fear will be upon all the enemy, all the people, both friends, everybody round about you, and they will not pursue after you. They will not trouble you. So now, Israel have lost all their warriors. They are all dead from among people. Verse 17. Verse 17. It was when they have all perished, the whole warriors, that the Lord spake unto me, saying, this is Moses speaking. He said, the Lord told him and said, verse 18, thou art to pass over through the coast of Moab this day. He said, well, now, you see, they are still passing, they are still on the road, journeying. He said, you are going to pass through the coast of Moab. Verse 20. Verse 20. That also was accounted a land of giants. So they are going to pass through the land of giants. When they had warriors, it was not easy. Now there's no warrior anymore. Maybe majority of them are women now and children. So how are they going? And they now faced with giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time. And the Ammonites called them Zamzumims. Verse 21. You can imagine people that they call Zamzumims, obviously with the name alone. Verse 21, the Bible says they are a great people, and many and tall as the Anakims. So these were not ordinary enemies, but the Lord destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwell in their stead. Verse 24, the Lord now instructed me, say, arise, rise ye up, take your journey, and pass over the river Arnon. Behold, I have given into thy hand Sihon the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and contend with him in battle. He said, fight against him. Remember, there's no more warriors in the land. They are all dead. The Lord is sending them to fight. Verse 25. Look at what the Lord did. The Lord knew that they have no army again. The Lord knew that they have no soldiers anymore. The Lord knew that on their own they cannot face Sihon, king of Amorite. They cannot. Look at how the Lord fought the battle for them. I want you to follow this, so that sometimes, brethren, there are some simple prayers you will pray that will change things around you immediately. Look at what happened. There's somebody there. You are listening to me. The Lord said you are going to pray this prayer, that spirit, terrible familiar spirit that is following you up and down, that spirit is so stubborn and so wicked, and is giving the mandate that you should not allow any good thing to manifest in your life. He said you should cry tonight to him, so that he will put your fear upon that spirit, and that spirit will run away from you because of fear. Look at what he said here, verse 25. This day will I begin to put the dread, that is the fear. I will put your fear upon the dread of thee, and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven. Not even the Amorites alone, even nations that are in Africa, nations that are in Americas, in Asia, all the nations under this heaven. He said, I'm going to put your fear upon the whole earth. Brethren, do you see the magnitude of what we are talking about today? If the Lord will do this for you and put your fear upon the whole inhabitants of this earth, no person can rise up against you anymore. No sorcerer, no occultist, no witch, no wizard, no name can rise up against you anymore, because your terror and your fear alone will be upon them. So that's what he told Israel, because he knew that Israel have lost all their warriors. No warrior to fight anymore. So he now said, don't worry, I know what to do. I will use one weapon only, the weapon of fear. The weapon of fear. And I'm not going to put it only on these enemies around you. Because why? The enemies can go far and go and bring other nations. They can hire mercenaries from other countries where their fear is not in those one's heart. You see, I know what I'm going to do. I will put your fear upon every country on earth. So it doesn't matter where they go to hire army or soldiers to fight. All those soldiers will be afraid also. He said, this day will I begin to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven. Who shall hear, listen carefully down to me, brethren, who shall hear report of thee? I told you that sometimes rumor, it's in form of rumor. He said they will hear report of thee, and what will happen? They will tremble. They've never seen you before. They've never seen your face before. Just report. Just what people say about you. They will hear report and they will tremble and be what? And be in anguish because of thee. Do you see how effective this weapon is, brethren? Do you see how powerful this weapon can be? That if the Lord will have mercy upon us today, if we find favor in his sight today and he deploys this weapon for us, I told you it's going to be a game changer. It will change everything around you. He said that nations that they've never seen your face before, you've never even reached their territory before, because of what they hear, reports. He said anguish will be upon them. Verse 31. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before thee. Begin to possess it. He said, begin to possess the land. Remember, this Sihon is a giant. Remember, all the soldiers, they are all giant, great people. He said, begin, have weapon, begin to possess his land. Do you know, brethren, that this weapon we are talking about, if the Lord deploys it for us today, all the things we have been crying to possess, we want to possess this, we want to possess that, all the promise of God that we are struggling with the enemy, you fight this side, they fight the other side, they will run away and we possess our possessions. He said, begin to possess, that thou mayest inherit his land. Verse 32. Then Sihon came out against us. You know, the enemy might still want to try. They might still want to try. They don't know already that the Lord has deployed his weapon. So Sihon came out, he and all his people, to fight at Jahaz. Verse 33. And the Lord our God delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people. Verse 34. And we took all his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men and the women and the little ones of every city. We left none to remain. How was this possible? It's because of the weapon God deployed. It's because of the weapon of fear and terror. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 11. So if you have been fighting against any particular power, you have been fighting against any particular enemy, and that enemy has been so stubborn and difficult for you to deal with, try this weapon. Cry unto God to release this weapon for you, to deploy this weapon for you. Deuteronomy chapter 11, look at verse 23. This was Moses, who was still telling the children of Israel, because they were still preparing to they've not entered the promised land yet. They were still preparing to enter the promised land. Then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you. These are great nations, about 7 of them. He said the Lord will drive them out. Drive them out. Why? You begin to imagine and say, why drive them out? Why not slaughter all of them there? Because the Lord could as well send his angel to go and slaughter all of them in one night. He could do it. He can send a plague to wipe them out. Why will he drive them out? Because if he doesn't drive them, it's better to drive them out. Let them migrate. Let them leave the land. After all, the major issue here is about the land. So otherwise, if you slaughter 7 nations, the stench of that smell, the corpses in that land, Israel will run away. Diseases will break out in that land. So the best thing is let them just go. Let them go. Is that not what you want? Let your enemy just leave you alone. Let them just depart from your land. Let them depart from what belongs to you. Let them depart from your God's promises for your life. Let them depart from your destiny. That's all you are interested in. He said the Lord will drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. So you see how the Bible describes it. Verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the rivers and river Euphrates, even unto the utmost sea shall your coast be. How is it going to be possible? Verse 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you. How? What will happen? For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread upon, as he has said unto you. That's all. No weapon, no sword deployed, nothing. Just fear. You know, fear. He said, don't worry, the Lord will deploy fear, and all the nations, they will not be able to stand before you. All of them. Fear alone. Fear. Genesis 35. Genesis 35. This weapon the Lord has used over and over. You can see, as big as the project has been Israel from Egypt to possess the promised land, as big as that project, brethren, it was the weapon of fear he used. The weapon of fear. Do you know, brethren, you can cry to the Almighty God and say, that man, that woman, that is my destiny, not allow me to lift up my head. Father, use your fear to drive them away. Use your fear to drive them away from my life, from my destiny. That is holding what belongs to me. Use your fear to drive them away. Let them release what belongs to me. Fear. Genesis 35. Look at verse 1. And God said unto Jacob, arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make thee an altar unto God, that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, put away the strange God that among you. Brethren, if God is going to help you to fight like this, if the Almighty God is going to deploy his weapon of fear and terror, you have to put away sin. You have to put away idolatry. You have to put away all kinds of evil from around your life, so that those things will not come back again to be a blockage. So he told Jacob, he said, remove idols. Get rid of idols in your camp, among your family, and be clean, and change your garments. Verse 3, and let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. Verse 4, and they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. Verse 5. Now they will go to Bethel. Remember this Bethel? 20 years ago, God appeared to Jacob in that place on a ladder. Now that land is very not ordinary land. It's a very special. Jacob said that is the gate of heaven, is the house of God. And now Jacob is now going now to the place we want him to. That's, if you like, you call him the place of his destiny. And so it's not going to be that easy. Enemies will be occupying that place. Enemies will want to put up a fight. There will be a resistance somehow. But in verse 5, look at how God settled that case. And they journeyed, and the terror of upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. The only thing God used to protect Jacob and his family was terror. That's all. He just put terror of God cities everywhere. Terror of God, terror of God. Children will travel peacefully. Terror of God will not allow any person to say, who are you? Stop there. Terror of God. Terror of God. To encourage those who are living in some parts of the world that are very restive in nature, very, very disturbing, and have all crimes and violence and so on, always pray this prayer. Always pray this prayer. If you are going to go out, ask the Lord to send his terror ahead of you, to surround you with his terror and fear. If you want to sleep, surround your house with terror and fear, so that all these wicked people cannot come, they cannot stand on your way. The terror and the fear of God, the dread, will drive them out of your way and round about you. So the Bible said that Jacob was traveling. He was going, and the terror of God was upon all the cities. No person pursued him. No person stopped him. No person attacked him. Nobody. He went smoothly to Bethel and settled down there. Joshua chapter 2. Joshua chapter 2. Now, how God uses this weapon of terror and fear. Joshua chapter 2. Look at verse 1. Joshua 2 verse 1. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go, view the land, even Jericho. They want to take Jericho. They want to attack Jericho. They want to surprise the people of Jericho. They sent out spies. Say, go and view the land. Go and survey the land. And they went and came into an harlot's house. The harlot is a native of that Jericho. The harlot is living inside Jericho. It's a Jericho woman, so named Rahab. And they lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent out unto Rahab, saying, bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thy house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. Verse 5. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. Verse 6. But she has brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. As soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. Verse 8. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. Look at what she said. Look at the testimony of the inhabitant, the native of the land. The native of the land. She said unto the men, verse 9. She said unto the men, I know that the Lord has given you the land. How did she know? How did she know? Which means rumor. Rumor. They had it. Fear operate with rumor. Somebody, the news, is it not what we read earlier? The Lord said that he will send, they will hear rumor. They will hear things. He said, I know that the Lord has given you the land. And that what? Your terror is falling upon us. He said, forget all these soldiers jumping up and down, pursuing you on the road and all this. He said, we are all afraid. From the king down to the last person, we are all afraid of you. Is it not what Moses told them? That they should go in and possess. That the Lord is going to send fear and terror. Now look at confirmation now. Look at the inhabitant of the city confirming it to them that we are all afraid. Fear has gripped us. He said, terror is falling upon us, and all the inhabitants of the land, we are fainting because of you. Brethren, this is what we need. This is your enemies to be fainting. You might not see them, they might not see you, but they will be fainting wherever they are. He said, we are all fainting because of you. Verse 11. Verse 11. And as we had heard this thing, they had it, rumor. As soon as we have heard these things, our hearts did melt. Do you see how fear operates? Fear brings fainting. Fear brings melting of heart. You see, our heart has melted. Neither did there remain courage in any man because of you. No more courage. Every person is flat on the ground. That's what fear does. You see how fear crushes people. You see all these men, you see both the king, everybody jumping, and he said every person is finished. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Now, this is an unbeliever, brethren. This is somebody that has never had any encounter with Jehovah God in their life before. And they know God like this. They trust and they believe, they confess God like this. How much more the children of God? And you can see, because of this, Israel has not even gotten to the town yet. Oh. Just 2 spies that went to view. You can see how the whole country is already panicking. And remember, Jericho had terrible wall round about. Isn't that enough security? They had formidable army. They had strong gates. But do you know that they themselves know that all these their walls, all these their soldiers and all these things, that they cannot even fear didn't allow those things to work. If we master this prayer and we know how to deploy and use these prayers and cry to God to use fear against our enemies, you see that no man will be able to stand before you again. 2 Kings chapter 19. There's somebody there again. Do you know the Lord is saying that if you are going in to speak to somebody, especially to unbelievers, if somebody is troubling you, tormenting you in the place of work, you can deploy the spirit of fear upon them. You can send the spirit of fear and terror so that their heart will. 2 Kings chapter 19, look at verse 6. Look at, said unto them, something was happening here. The king of Assyria has come to attack the king of Judah, and there was serious problem in the land because the king of Assyria had a strong army. So he has sent message to the king of to Hezekiah and the land. Look at what happened. And Isaiah said unto them, thus shall ye say to your master, thus saith the Lord, be not afraid of the word which thou hast heard, with which the servant of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Verse 7. Behold, I will send a blast upon him. Do you know what a blast is? He said, and he shall do what? He shall hear a rumor. This our God is a great God. He said, I will send a blast to him. He has boasted, isn't he, as a human being? How strong, how powerful, how everything, don't worry. He said, I will send him a blast and a rumor. It's all. I will use the weapon of rumor against him. And shall turn to his own land. He said, he shall hear a rumor. This is somebody that came to fight war. He said, I will not send soldiers to attack him. I will not send thunder or anything. I will not even send the angel to slaughter him. No. He will hear rumor and he will return back home. He will hear rumor and will go back home. Return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. Verse 8. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah. So God sent them another enemy. For he had heard rumor. He had heard that he was departed from Lachish. Verse 9. And when he heard say of Tehakah, king of Ethiopia, he all was hearing. This thing might not be happening. Just here, he will hear that king of Ethiopia is coming to attack you. King of Lebanon is coming to attack you. Rumor. And he abandoned Hezekiah alone. He left Hezekiah alone on his own and went to go and face all those rumors first to fight those places. So he heard that the king of Ethiopia, behold, he is come out to fight against thee. He sent messenger again unto Hezekiah, saying, look at what he now told Hezekiah. He said a lot of things to Hezekiah, insulted Hezekiah, and so on. Verse 20. Verse 20. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, sent to Hezekiah, saying, thus said the Lord God of Israel, that which thou hast prayed unto me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, I have heard. And God will hear our prayers today. I said the Father will hear our prayers today. He said that prayer you prayed to me concerning Sennacherib, don't worry, I've heard that prayer. Verse 27. He now prophesied, he sent message to Sennacherib. He said, your address, I know your house, I know your abode. I know when you go out and I know when you come in. And I know all your rage against me. Verse 28. Because thy rage against me and thy turmoil is come up into my ears. Therefore, I will put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way which thou camest. Verse 36. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. So all those things, later they sent soldiers to destroy his army and so on. He went back in everything, and all those kind of things happened. And verse 37, and it came to pass as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch his god, that Adramelech and Sharezer his son smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia. And Esarhaddon his son reigned instead. That was how God solved that problem. Using what? Rumor. Rumor. You know, it's very funny and it's so interesting to see how God's weapon of fear and terror operate. Let me show you one in that manifested vividly, because there were witnesses that gave account of what happened and what they heard and what they saw. In 2 Kings chapter 7, 2 Kings verse 1, 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 1, then Elisha said, hear ye the Lord. Thus said the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. This was a city that was perishing under famine, because the soldiers, the army of Syria, they have occupied the whole gate, have surrounded the country, and people were dying of hunger. Verse 6, look at what the Lord did. For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise. You know, that matters, brother. That's all. It's as simple for the Lord as that. He can make your enemies to hear what they shouldn't hear, to hear noise, to hear different things. He said he made them to hear noise of chariots and noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. Their ears just opened and they were hearing chariots and horses coming. That's all. And they said one to another. Look at what they said when they had those things, because it wasn't one person that had it, all of them had it. They now said, look, the king of Israel has hired against us the king of the Hittites. You see rumor how it operated. No. Did the king of Israel hire anybody? No. They say, they even gave the name of the people he hired. They say he hired the king of Hittites and the king of the Egyptians to come upon us. They are the one that had it. They are the one that interpreted everything for themselves. Look at the action they took in verse 7. Verse 7. Wherefore, they are... No person was there. Nobody was there pursuing them. They arose, the whole army that came to fight war. All of them arose and fled in the twilight, and left all their tents, and left their horses. They couldn't even carry horse. Is horse not going to go faster than their legs? They abandoned both horses and everything and their asses, even as the camp as it was. And they did what? Look at the last part of that verse. And they fled for their life. And not what is making them to fear, rumor, and terror. That was all that prophecy of Elisha unleashed upon them. And that's the way we are going to prophesy here tonight. We are going to speak some word into the heavens and into the earth, and it's going to raise up strong fear and terror and dread. It's going to raise some blast. It's going to release some things that even rumor. They will hear things and they will run for their lives. Do you know that these soldiers, they ran, they didn't come back again? They didn't return back again. That was the end of that battle. Do you know that the Lord is going to release these weapons for us tonight? A lot of battles will come to an end naturally tonight. A lot of battles. A lot of people that the enemies have surrounded for so long, and the enemies have been encamped and besieged for so long, and the enemies are starving of every good thing on every side for so long. Tonight, as this weapon will come from the Almighty God, your enemies will run for their lives.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.